Hey everyone, it's the patient hodler coming at you with another live stream, and in this one we are going to talk or see the next community AMA, next community update, and we're just going to see if this works right now. But I think this time it worked. I just started it 2 seconds ago, and I think now it is working. So for everyone who is already joining, let me see if you are here. I have a little chat window here. I hope this one works, so that you can see yourself in the chat. I'm a little bit confused if it works or not, but I think it looks good. So what we are going to see here, and if you're tuning into this after the live stream is already done, then please feel free to skip 11 to 10 minutes forward from now, which is basically when we are going to start to listen into that live stream. I started a little bit earlier just in case that we have these technological problems, and that we can talk a little bit, speculate a little bit. What's the skull? So Energy is in the house with a. What are you asking yourself, Energy? You're not going to buy another Winnie Pooh, right? Next one is Moni Lee. Hello, with a big fat OMI circle already. We have Luke in the house. Hello, Luke. Thanks for supporting all the time. We have JTemp. Hi. So already there on the German streams as well as on the English streams. We also have Giovanna putting up some hands here, and we have Daverist. So welcome to the AMA stream. I hope this is not going to be only soons. I mean, I have said it in the teaser to this one. Yeah. So. Should you sell OMI? I don't know, man. I wouldn't. At this point, it's pretty risky. I mean, we could technically use the time here. Where's my chat? There it is. Use the time here to look a little bit. So this is the Bitcoin chart. Obviously, why do we look at Bitcoin? Because we are not decoupled. We are coupled to Bitcoin. And I don't know. I have to figure out how I can fix the chat. Commas and zeros. Is also here. Welcome. Ecomi Junkie is there. 100% rocket. This AMA will be. So yeah, we are going to tune into the AMA in roughly about 10 minutes or so. So I'm pretty excited. As you can see here, after this nasty drop and the death of Terra Luna, we can get some good news, right? And also, if we're looking at the OMI chart, I mean, it says we are up like 15, 16, 17, 18% roundabout. We were up 30%. Doesn't look like a 30% candle, but at this point actually is. So we are very, very down here. Do you plan to comment or listen in silence? Honestly, I will listen in silence. I might I might do some weird faces to it. I will also let the chat up, where I usually then highlight some things. I will pass a little bit through the people that are with a blue check mark and stuff like that. Let's see if we can identify someone who's listening into the AMA who is new or famous, like soccer players or something like that. See how many blue check marks are around. Usually I do that in my AMA streams, but I want to leave it uncommented, because they are talking all the time. I don't want to talk over something that is important. I cannot pause it because it's a Twitter space. So that's basically the reason why I will leave it with that. So I will comment on it later. or in the next videos, and whatever massive thing we are getting, you will all be able to comment that. I will let this chat run here in the open window. On the side, it will look like this. Look here, it will look like this. So I will put you somewhere here. Then we have the space, or I will put you on the other side, actually, probably, because the people that are joining, they are on this side. And maybe I'll move my camera a little bit around so that you can see everything. But, so we had this OMI chart here. I'm not going to talk too much about charts or stuff. Bought 3.5 million more OMI today. 10 million, baby. Damn, that is a huge amount. So you have like roughly 8 times of what I own at the moment. I'm speculating on hitting our head here and going deeper, just because I believe that Bitcoin, we will all probably, nothing is guaranteed, but we'll probably all have a lot of time to accumulate more of the of OMI during the next months, I believe. OMI to the moon today. Well, what has to happen? I mean, we have seen announcements put in a smaller green candle. I don't know if it was are we like daily charts? So one of these little green candles are the Ecomi burn announcements from Epico Regal and stuff like that. And so that you can buy OMI with Chrome browser extension. I think it's Firefox or Chrome browser extension for Coinbase. I think it's Chrome. To buy Ecomi token. So this didn't even have an effect, obviously, because this coin is so hard driven by weights and market that doesn't matter what you announce. So they can, if they announce something that a little bit impacts the OMI price, if it's not something like a Binance or a Coinbase listing, I don't know if this will really send OMI to the moon. I know that everyone feels like they nailed the bottom yesterday. I also bought 100K or so yesterday, but I'm not sure that this is the bottom. Look, I mean, for a reversal and really have a pump to the moon, we would need to at least take out this previous little high here, or take out this high, and then take out these highs, stuff like that. So, and this is what we got. So this little candle is already half sold off. It seems more like we lost. Look. This, guys, sorry for removing the chat here, but look at this. This was the super low selling climax. This is the support. And we just lost it on daily, and now we're hitting our head from below on that. So even if we trend a little bit higher and we hit our head on the next one on this noisy area, it's just, man, I don't see us coming back all the way. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm not that much of a TA guy. I just I just look for entries. So we got 3 minutes until it starts. Are you guys excited? What are we getting today? JTab says, cool, I 100% agree. Let's discuss this afterwards. Yeah, for sure. So if you guys, if we're not going out depressed here, because something is announced that is super bad, which I believe is not going to happen. I think the worst that can happen is that they're only talking about soon MTL, soon OUP, soon MCP and stuff like that without any bigger announcements. That's the worst thing that can happen. So yeah, stick around. Let's talk a little bit more about price action, about entries into OMI, about Veve collectibles if you want, if you're not completely exhausted. Yeah, stick around for that. I will be sticking around a couple of minutes after that, or maybe even if a lot of people are interacting and stuff like that, even longer. If we are all having fun, if we are super excited, super bullish, going crazy, then we'll make it a longer stream. So yeah, so I'm going to once this starts, I'm going to listen into that from my phone actually, because to not interfere with any settings. So I'm going to get ready for that, and for you I will join this base here. So it's already on, it seems. At least for being able to join, it seems to be already on, at least on the phone. So I hope I will be able to join here as well. I don't know, are you already able to joining? Okay, so they're playing music still. So I hope that it will also appear here on my browser. Yeah, there we go. So we are going. Actually, I will wait until they to join, until they start talking, because right now they're playing music and that could be a problem for YouTube and stuff like that. So, yeah, once we're ready here, so we see already Johnny Dunn. I'm still waiting for the day that he really misses a drop. And yeah, where's my chat? Okay. Yeah. But still music. So still music. Could need more OMI. Yes, we all do. I think unless we are like a couple of millions, everyone wants more OMI. The lower the OMI price, the more OMI we burn and the more discount we get for buying. So who do we have here already? We get for buying. Okay. The lower the OMI price, the more OMI we burn, the more discount we get. Yeah, exactly. So it's a twofold benefit. We are getting lower entries while we are burning more. That's crazy. You're right, Clinton. That's absolutely true. AMA VV now. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I think it starts now.
Skeet's in the house representing the Discord. How we doing, Skeet? All right. Oh, he's not even on stage. Here we go. Sorry.
Just let me know if you can hear it now. I had the desktop audio off.
All right, Noah holding it down on the ones and twos from behind the Veve handle. I'm Alex, head of marketing here at Veve. We got Reese representing Ecomi and Veve, but mostly Ecomi. We bring him along to talk all things token because that is not my area of expertise.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Plus, you just got a good head of hair on you. So,
thanks, man. That's the secret to my power.
I figured as much. All right. Thank you, everybody, for making the time today. It is 1 p.m. Pacific time here on Friday the 13th. Don't be scared, though. We got some good stuff to cover today. And apparently, Randy Chavez beat us to a lot of it with his impromptu late night stream with one Mr. David Yu. Always good to see you pop up on streams and on Twitter. He's been a little more active lately, which is great. Even though that is heavily populated with specific emojis, I think emojis have gotten Veve staff into trouble in the past, but this one seems to be a little more well received, in that you can't really crash the market any further than it is right now. But them's jokes, not financial advice or any of that. We do not take that lightly. Obviously, the world is in turmoil, and we are here to at least try to give you some confidence in the roadmap ahead, in that we are not deterred by such action in the both financial and crypto markets. We are staying the course. So that said, I don't know, Reese, maybe do you want to just talk a little bit about kind of generally what's going on, in case people are maybe new to the space and new maybe OMI holders, and new to maybe OMI is the only thing they hold, and just kind of generally what is happening right now and what the future kind of holds for coming out of this bear market? I don't mean to put you on the spot with such a heavy topic, but
yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not really something that I can solve in the next 30 seconds, but for anyone who is new to trading, investing, financial markets, I mean, at times like this, I think it's important to understand that markets will do what markets are going to do. People will always trade and have their own reasons to sell their tokens or to hold them. Really, on a global macro perspective, I think we're all heading into recession by the look of things. Inflation is running out of control because of all the money printing that took place over the last 12 to 24 months. And fundamentally, in these types of environments, everybody goes risk off. Now, as much as we all love and believe in crypto, sorry. You guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Alex?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, sorry, I just saw a little Twitter message saying there was a connection issue. As much as we all love and believe in crypto, at the moment, it is still the newest asset class in existence, which means that most people or, larger institutions view it as a risk-on asset. And as we're facing these global macro headwinds, most people are going risk off, which means that they will sell for cash or just try to hold on to anything that they deem to be a safer asset, which at the moment seems to be US dollars. Now, this is happening across all financial markets. I mean, Amazon and Facebook and Netflix and things are all trading like shitcoins, frankly. And we're seeing it everywhere. So, crypto is never going to be immune to these things, but fundamentally, one of the reasons that Bitcoin was invented in the first place was to combat these kind of this financial mishap. So, look, it's still very early days in the crypto industry, obviously even more so in the NFT industry. But all of these things are here to stay. We're obviously here to stay. The show goes on regardless of what the market conditions are. And from our point of view, I mean, that has always been one of the key value drivers of Veve. It is an app that targets the mainstream audience that doesn't have to have any knowledge or understanding of crypto to participate. And that doesn't change regardless of token prices or financial markets. So that's where we stand on it. I really do hope that people haven't been too poorly affected, too badly affected by this. If you have been, please reach out to any sort of mental health service. There are plenty of services available, but just understand that
I think they just dropped. Is that correct? I think they just dropped. I have a recording here and they are not in the space anymore. Yo, what is going on? Are you all out as well? Space closed, yeah. Okay, so it's not me. What the? Okay. So that's it. That's it, folks. That's the AMA. The announcement is don't trade shitcoins, and if you did, then you should call someone or so. I don't know. Okay, I think they've resumed it, right? Let me see. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Okay. So yeah, so what do you think about that? I mean, okay, recession, yep. And also I'm trying to head in again as quick as possible. I hope they didn't get banned from that space. So yeah, OMI lost 2% because of that space drop. So yeah, damn. I expected them to have a drop for season 4, like first drop, but I didn't know it would be this Twitter space. So that's impressive. So fast, I didn't expect that. Yeah, also, while we are at it, we can just advertise this. So smash up the likes. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe here. And I think we are back in the game. So let me just join again.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I think we got rugged.
Definitely got
no
rugged.
lost internet or something.
Yeah,
he said he crashed. Okay.
Okay.
So my bad, or not. Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
we've got you then.
they have some issues still with the sound, it seems. So
Alex, have you disappeared as well?
just to say that, so obviously this is not
Keep on getting
to
put
make
on
people
mute,
hilarious
but,
that need professional
yeah,
help for their
I think Noah got rugged.
depression or so.
Sorry,
If you
I can
need
still
that,
hear you at
obviously.
You got me, Skeet?
Yeah,
Give
I got
everyone
you,
a
man.
chance to join, and we'll hope that. I'm going to take two a bit of a reshare, and we'll go from there, fair? Okay.
Elon does not want us to be great.
Typical. All right. What have we got here? People joining. Perfect. Guys, if everyone can hear me, do you want to just throw some hearts up? Let me know that this is coming through. Veve got that. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a few. So I'm assuming we're good on that front. Well, while we wait for Alex to rejoin, I might just continue on the cliffhanger that I clearly ended on there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, look, the point of what I was saying, guys, is we really started building Veve in a bear market with minimal funding, came through that thanks to the
And they're gone again. Man, double drop day. So if we lose another 2% and this continues for a while, we might get good entries here. So for OMI, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let me see here if they can pull up the space again. They should have someone else just host the space. Yeah, they need take 3, man. They need take 3. Maybe it's really Elon. No, actually, didn't he just say that they put the Twitter buy on hold? It's because of some formalities or so. So maybe it's like now, but putting all the technical difficulties into the Twitter Spaces infrastructure and stuff like that. I don't know. This is unprofessional chat from Ecomi is going to cause OMI to fall to 0.0001. Are we back already? Is it back already? No, it's still the recording. They should go back to Discord. There were not these problems. Yeah, and also I don't know why don't they do a live stream on YouTube? I mean, they could. Okay, you cannot have all the people. You cannot put people on stage, but technically you could get people on stage via Discord, but do. Reese just twittered something. Let me see. Yep, might have at the stage. Rug 2x. Let's take this to Clubhouse, not at Ecomi Reese, not Discord. So Brock McBlockchain said that. Actually, I've no idea, but why doesn't someone else just opens the space? I mean, there are spaces open all day, so I don't know. I hope they can do it on Twitter, and yeah. So here we are. They are going a third time. Take 3. Okay, let's go, guys. Have fun. Hope this is the one.
Right. Apparently Noah's internet hates him, so I'm gonna take over on the Veve handle. Oh yeah, you guys. Sorry. My lord.
maybe it's something I said. The Twitter algorithm.
Yeah, well, I think I heard Skeet say Twitter didn't want us to be great, and boy,
Didn't it?
Boy, okay. So let's. I don't know where you were, Reese. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just before
Okay.
we get back to that. If we get rugged again, shall we move to Discord? Is that
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, that's gonna, exclude a bunch of people, but
or Clubhouse, that could be an option. But again,
that's probably gonna exclude even more. But I think we're good. I think let's just let Noah won't be hosting. I think maybe he just had some either bug issues or internet issues or whatever the case is. But I seem to have a pretty good signal. I'm behind the Veve handle at this point. I'll make you a co-host.
Perfect.
And appreciate your patience, everybody. Sorry. We'll give everybody a few more seconds to get in. Looks like we've got 1,500. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Do you want to try again, Reese?
Sure. So, I guess we'll go from just where I was up to, really. I just wanted to reiterate that we started building in a bear market, and this really isn't anything new to us. But from a global macro perspective, I mean, we really are just in shaky times, frankly. I think after all of the inflation, runaway inflation that we've been seeing, and obviously those numbers came out 2 days ago, a little bit higher than expected. I'm always kind of blown away by how much 0.1 or 0.2% can impact the financial market, but obviously people are moving to risk off. And crypto being the newest asset class that exists, people tend to go risk off, and that means selling crypto. Generally, these things happen in a panic. Now, looking ahead, I personally don't see crypto markets, or really all financial markets, having this incredible V-shaped recovery. Not any time in the next few weeks. So, I mean, my personal advice to people would be to probably be conservative in these times. Crypto markets especially can definitely go lower than anyone expects, and I would say that they probably already have gone lower than anyone expected. I think we all know that this current crash has probably been exacerbated by the Luna and UST fiasco, but that will come to a head eventually as well. So I think in these kind of times, I would always just say to people to be steady, stay the course. The show goes on for us. Nothing changes. And one of our fundamental value drivers and value propositions has always been our ability to access the mainstream audience who don't have a clue about crypto and don't care at all what token prices are going for. So, as a product and as a company, we're in very good standing. And we have some incredible licenses to bring on, as David mentioned in Randy's video. If anyone hasn't seen it, he didn't mention the licenses if you're going to look for that, but he obviously did mention that we have quite a number of tier one brands that are yet to hit the platform. So I mean, nothing really changes for us. We've got some good updates to share today, and we'll continue on as per usual.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that. And again, apologies to everybody for the multiple rugs. If that isn't the most Friday the 13th shit to ever happen, I don't know what is. Please do not take it as a sign. But I think we're good to go. Let me get that tweet with the link to Randy's interview with David up top again. Okay, there we go. I put it up twice. All right. Just so in case you haven't watched it, you can see it there. Like very casual, good stuff covered. Always good to hear from David. When he's not trolling, when you's not youing on Twitter. All right, so quickly then we're going to cover a few things today. This should be fairly tight update. In fact, like I said, the video's there for you guys to watch, but we have obviously the recurring questions that we want to address and let everybody know that we are still on track for everything that we've been talking about over the last several weeks. And of course that starts and ends or starts and starts again and starts again, depending on what day you log into our Twitter to see what people are asking about, as if it's an original question, though I understand the frustration. Of course, is payout, right? And payout is part of that trifecta of Q2 priorities that we've been talking about for a bit now. That includes web platform and KYC rollout. So the payout can't happen with the other two. As you know, a first wave of web platform beta invites went out now, I think 2 weeks ago or so. We got a lot of great feedback, and then noticed some obvious performance issues around showrooms in particular. So I think the next round of beta invites are going to be without showrooms that will be disabled for now, just so that we can make sure and optimize that flow with the amount of people that we do expect using web platform, because it was just, I think, maybe a little heavy for people to use. So I think we're aiming for the next wave, either end of this weekend or sometime early to mid next week, with about 2,000 to 3,000 invitees. So we'll, as mentioned before, we're going to continue rolling this out in waves, and to get everybody up and in the platform, so we can continue to do beta testing in that environment. Now, just so everybody knows, although it is very cool to have that environment to play around with, it offers no distinct advantage. In fact, we are encouraging people not to try drops on the web, although some people have and have been successful. I think it's, your best bet is still the mobile app at this point. So the only other thing that you would get to see on the web platform that maybe is not present in the mobile version, probably some more of the search and filtering, as well as your Veve joined date, so your Veve birthday, essentially. If that is how we're defining it, I know I put a poll out in my personal Twitter the other day of what should be considered a Veve birthday. I know that's a popular question circulating in the fam. Is it the day you join the app or the day of your first purchase? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what people gravitate towards. But the member since date is the date you basically create an account. That's what's reflected on your profile page on the web. So that might just end up being the Veve birthday, which, by the way, mine is coming up this month. Very excited.
Yeah, coming up
We'll throw a party.
Almost 12 months. Almost 12 months with Veve. You've only aged 10 years.
Oh my goodness! Somebody thought I had seen a ghost the other day. I hadn't seen my family in a while. I was like, "Your hair is completely gray now." I was like, "Yep, thank you, Veve fam."
Thank you, fam. Thank you. Hey, just quickly, when it comes to the next round of beta invites going out, as we learned after the first round went out, there's a lot of scam and phishing emails going out, claiming to be us, essentially. So just be wary of that. Make sure Alex is the email. It's coming from @veve.me, right? Is that correct?
No, not necessarily. But okay. It is. Yeah, we'll confirm and we'll announce when the wave goes out. Yeah.
Perfect. And anyone who does receive an email, if you do try to log into the web app and you haven't received that email, it means your account has not been whitelisted, so you obviously won't be able to access it. But just be wary of any links you're clicking, anything like that. We'll let people know when the next round is gone.
Just so you know, everybody, aside from being cautious or anything that may mask its URL, the ultimate URL that you'll want to log into once invited is app.veve.me. So don't try if you haven't been invited to log in, because it won't let you. But if you get an invite email that looks fishy somehow, just make sure you're not being redirected to some crazy place.
Yeah.
Okay. So web platform, that is going well. The next phase of that is going out next week. Now, along with that, we've started to kind of really map out and finalize the flow for KYC. And KYC was discussed, about a month ago now, and reinforced in a couple of different updates and AMAs, in that is kind of going to be our general way to not only verify people within the app as with app experience as a whole, but that will also then enable payout feature. That is the ability to cash your gems out for fiat. Right. So because of the various and strict New Zealand anti-money laundering laws, we've had to be very diligent in making sure all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But that is on point. That is on track. I'm actually mapping out the messaging and user flows for KYC now. So I've seen it. I've seen the flows. It does exist, everybody. Don't worry. And with that, obviously, comes payout. So everything's still on track for Q2. Now, Q2, when we say Q2 priorities, that is all we're focusing on at this time, which means, things, other vanity projects like comics and showrooms, or the wait list, for instance, the Veve logos dropping. Those are all, they're never going to take precedent over the top tier priorities of web, KYC, and payout. We just want to make sure that, because those are the most requested features, and we understand that we are very delayed in delivering those highly requested features, that we want to make sure to ship those as we approach the end of Q2. So that is that. Let's see here. What else we got? App update. So there was an app update that went out, I believe, late last week, with a fix to the reservations in the marketplace. Now, obviously, there was some false starts on this feature, so we appreciate your patience. But all of this is to say that we are continually optimizing the process and balancing what it means to be fraudulently reserving market listings versus what it takes to make sure that people aren't getting collectibles bought out from under them, right? And I think that's probably the best way to explain it. Before, you could go through the process of buying gems after you clicked on something in the market, and then you get to the final purchase step, and then it said, sorry, this collectible is no longer available. What we're trying to do is make sure that once you've clicked on it and it says you are able to buy, that you are actually able to complete the purchase process. Now, obviously, the first update we put out for that allowed people to kind of lock up things indefinitely and kind of manipulate the market. Notice that right away. We apologize for any frustration that may have caused, and kind of probably went a little too extreme in the other direction in fixing that. So it's all about finding that optimization and that balance. So that is in place now. Hopefully it's a better experience for people. As we mentioned, continue to please give your feedback, and we'll optimize accordingly. Occlusion is something that went out in that last app update. You may have seen a little sneak peek on my Twitter of a Gondek duck hiding behind a wall. Basically, occlusion is basically the ability to place a collectible behind another object and have it stay in place. So like before, like when you walked around with your phone in AR mode, it was just kind of the collectible went through walls and kind of followed you. Now you can actually place it, walk around the corner, and then come back around the corner and see it again, which is very cool. Now, this is a little bit of a more advanced feature, and differs between iPhone and Android, the way these things are processed. But it's usually it's going to be the most recent and advanced phones on either OS that support this feature. So for iPhone, I believe it's iPhone 12 Pro and above, and then on newer Androids, I don't have the hard data on which version of iOS. I'm not sorry, which version of Android that is, or which phones is supported, because obviously it's a little bit more of an array of devices there. But they use the camera depth scans as opposed to kind of like a LiDAR functionality that iPhone uses. So we'll probably push out some more optimizations to that feature in the coming weeks in various app updates. But it's very cool. You get to now play out little scenes where you walk around a corner and have your collectibles staged, essentially, within your AR environment. All right, am I talking too fast? I feel like I'm talking too fast. Touched on quickly the waitlist update. So that is still, it's still in progress. It is in production. Sorry, say what? Did I get rugged again? Can you hear me?
No, you're not rugged. You're not rugged. We can hear you all right.
Oh, okay. Damn, you can give me a scare there for a second. Reese, are you getting rugged? Is that what's happening? All right. Skeet, I'm going to just take your word for it that you can hear me and continue on. All right. So waitlist update. That is in place. That is in production environment. We are testing it internally. We are ready to launch. I think we mentioned in the Veve community update video with David and Dan a couple weeks ago that we are dropping as a test all 4 letters in the Veve logo as a blind box, so you can collect the Veve letters and make your own Veve logo in your showrooms. Obviously, there were jokes around how much that was going to cost, and they were just that, jokes. It's not going to be a $200 blind box. Don't worry, folks. But that said, we initially said that we were going to push that out in May, but we, again, are not going to sacrifice any KYC payout timelines in order to get that out, because we have made significant improvements to the drop process by disabling transfers, both gems and collectible transfers, and that's gone a long way in kind of deterring bots. So we are hitting drops again. I know I've been a little more successful. I've wanted to get more than I can, but we have purchase limits on this side. But I think I've seen a lot of green trucks in the Twitter feed. I'm really happy for you guys. So that should be continue to work well until we get these major things shipped, and then we'll kind of switch over to the waitlist. And again, waitlist and standard drop mechanic will kind of coexist for a time, and then we'll eventually completely shift over to the waitlist functionality. So not terribly urgent, though. It'll be interesting to see how that interacts eventually with the MCP and the drop raffle, etc. All right, so that brings us to the next drop. As I mentioned on Twitter, Thursday's comic, or yesterday's comic, was our last drop of Season 3. And that means Season 4 starts on Sunday, May 15th. Now, I put out a little poll to see what the guess was as to what that drop was going to be. Very vague, very cryptic. Basically continuing the U-troll of the skull when it was revealed that basically Dave wanted to be hip like the kids and use the skull in place of the laughing, crying emoji, like dead. I'm dead because it's so funny. And boy, is it funny. So had nothing to do with what's dropping, but why not? The other choices, however, were, let's see, what was it? Lightning Bolt, book, as in comic book, or what was the last one?
Mailbox, maybe?
Mailbox, as in stamps. So I think the second most popular choice was Lightning Bolt at 24.2% of 6,226 votes, which is indeed correct. Our Sunday drop to kick off Season 4 is indeed Lightning Bolt. Congratulations, everybody. Good luck. Lightning Bolt. All right. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's reveal it here. I think I'm ready to fire off this tweet, and I will pin it to the top here. So everybody, pull up your tweeters, and let's go. All right, first look. There it is. The Mighty Thor is dropping finally a first appearance on Veve this Sunday. 5 premium digital collectible statues in blind box format, including the 2 animated rarities. 8 a.m. PT. Good stuff. They look really cool this time. We got the crazy lightning animation, as well as the twirling of the hammer, or Mjolnir, as it's named. The very skies tremble in his presence. Commanding the mystical hammer Mjolnir, Thor uses his mighty abilities to protect Asgard and planet Earth alike. Veve Season 4 kicks off with 5 premium digital Thor collectibles in blind box format this Sunday,
Unreal.
15th
And there's
of April, or in May, sorry, at 8 a.m. PT.
perfect. There's sound effects attached as well, I would assume.
There are sound effects, yes, of course. There is the twirling sound effect. There is the lightning crash. But yeah, this one's pretty dope. This is obviously Thor's old school, original, like comic book true look. This is not Marvel Studios Thor. This is not Love and Thunder Thor. This is first appearance. You know, yeah. Journey into Mystery era, 60s era Thor. So very cool.
Super exciting.
Yeah. So, you know, bringing the thunder on season 4 kickoff. And we got some really good stuff coming up in season 4. Obviously, season 3 highlights included things like, a little company called Disney. Some other great drops. USPS joined in season 3. Let's see, Coke season 3. Pixar, very cool. Battle statues, Voltron. All these kind of things dropped in season 3. So thank you very much, season 3, for all you've done for us. But we must bid thee adieu. But we will give you a hero send-off, season 3, by celebrating with a good old giveaway. Let's go. We are launching the Goodbye Season 3 giveaway starting Monday, which we are giving away 65 different prizes, key drops from season 3. Don't worry, no spinning wheel. I think people actually hated the spinning wheel, which I don't blame them. It was clunky.
Yeah,
but we tried. We tried to. I think maybe we'll have to, come up with a hashtag or more of a creative contest next time, so we can bring back the meme contest or.
The art show, maybe.
Art show, etc. But for this, it's going to be a simple entry. Fill in your Veve username, email, etc., all your pertinence. And let's just run through the prizes, shall we? With more to be announced, I won't announce all of them, but we are giving away, as mentioned, USPS joined the show in season 3, so we will give away 8 total Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead stamps of various rarities. We got some Coke Starlight to give away. We got some Knight Rider kit cars to give away. We got some Pixar Pals of each rarity. Batman versus Killer Croc battle statue. We got some Voltron. We even got a Ron English Tricky the Obese Bunny giving one of those away, one of those secret rares. We got some Tristan Eaton OG Devil Bunny from the Decon lineup. And, as a way to celebrate Decon past with looking towards Decon future, we'll give away some of those Tristan Eatons. We got some golden moments. We've got Elsa, Wall-E. We've got Steamboat Willie, ultra rare. We've got some Jermaine Rogers Veil specimens. Some Tilly Fantasy. A No Time to Die Aston Martin DB5 Interactive, not the 007 one, not the edition of 7, sorry. But we'll give one of those secret rares away. We got some Superman versus the Flash, and on the comic front, a few different comics that we are still determining which titles those are, but there'll be some good ones of all various rarities. Again, aiming for 65 collectibles and comics total. And that should kick off on Monday. Very excited. So thank you, everybody, for rocking with us up until this point. 3 seasons in, leading into season 4 for Veve. Do you have a point there, Reese, you wanted to make?
No, 2 things. One, I just want to make sure you can hear me properly. Seems my headphones have been playing up a little bit today.
I'm sorry, what was that? I cut out a little bit.
Yes, I was confirming whether you could hear me through my headphones, but apparently not.
No,
so I'll fix those. Just on that, 2 things from what we just said. One, did we mention how to participate in this giveaway?
Yeah, we'll give you the link. Everything will be announced on social on Monday, but we're going to be hosting it on the same the same page. It's going to be vv.com/giveaways. It's not live now, so don't bother going there, but we'll send the link out when it's ready to go. You'll have a week to enter, and we'll shut it down on Friday, and then announce all the winners either over the course of the weekend or early the next week.
Perfect. And the second point was we just mentioned Decon a little bit, and we did see that announcement go out in the past week, I believe.
Absolutely, yeah. So Decon announced that they have re-upped our relationship with them, which is very cool. Obviously, we've talked in the past about attending both London and Anaheim Decons this year. So very excited to meet the UK and European fam out there in September 3rd and 4th. So we should have a good time there. And then Anaheim, once again, in late November, we'll be there. And we're really looking forward to putting this slate together. In fact, I just had a meeting on this yesterday and today, kind of shoring up the lineup of collectibles and artists. We'll have some return artists from last year's lineup, but also very cool new artists to the Veve platform, part of the Decon and 3D Retro fam. And for those of you who don't know, Decon and 3D Retro are basically kind of run by the same people. They're family into themselves, but they are now part of the Veve fam. And we'll be kicking off that relationship, again, not only via press release, but also via an in-person event here in LA, just a kind of casual outdoors kind of barbecue situation on June 4th. At the 3D Retro Toy Store. So, we'll have some music, some food trucks, some artists will be out there with some exclusives, exclusive physical toys rather, as opposed to, and then we will have some drops as well, celebrating some of the returning artists from last year's Decon. So really looking forward to that. Look forward to all of the actual info, including time, and who will be featured in the coming week. We're just making sure we got all of the ducks in a row in terms of logistics, but really looking forward to that.
For sure. And just to confirm, the drops that take place on that weekend, they will be open to everyone in the app. They're not just...
Yes, correct. Yeah, we don't have the geo-fenced drops yet, though we may, I think, looking forward to the actual conventions, the London and Anaheim. We will have the appearance of some promo code type situations that will enable physical, digital kind of companion purchases type things. So working on all those details, that's kind of been my focus this week. Very excited about some of these things that we've got lined up. So for all those who wanted exclusive drops for attending, we're working on some of those things via the promo code. So very cool. So definitely try it if you can, make it to either London or Anaheim, and not only hang with us, meet the team, hang out with your fellow Veve fam, but also score some pretty cool physical and digital collectibles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Great updates on that front. We'll dive into some Ecomi updates and then we'll field some questions. Does that suit you, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. Now, I know we've kind of gone a little bit longer than anticipated with the Twitter rugging, so I'll try to get through these quickly, but we do have some exciting things going on. Now, I don't know if the Bridge article was out last time we had an AMA, maybe before the last co-founders AMA. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, the IMX Bridge is now open, and that lets you send OMI from layer 1 to layer 2, which means that you can send basically from exchanges or your personal wallets to your Veve app. Now, I just want to make the point that you cannot send directly from exchanges to the Veve app. You have to bridge your tokens. So if you go to our blog, medium.com/Ecomi, you'll find the bridge instructions there. Now, they're quite comprehensive. It is a long read if you were going to perform every function that bridge can perform. But I've tried to divide it into easily digestible sections depending on what you're trying to do. So be that deposit to layer 2, send to your Veve app, send from your Veve app, and withdraw to layer 1. So go through that article if you haven't yet, and familiarize yourself with it, because that is the only way to get OMI tokens from exchanges into your Veve app, at least for now. But anyway, great news there to see that open, and by all reports, it's working as intended. The second big announcement that we did make recently was our partnership with Epico Regal, which is a play-to-earn game. Now, Epico Regal is a bit of a tower defense game, similar to Clash Royale, I would say, in gameplay, at least for now, with the key difference being that you can compete in tournaments, team up with friends, and win OMI tokens. You can also use your tokens on their marketplace. Now, in order to do that, you'll have to bridge to Polygon. But again, I will release instructions on how to do that if you would like to use your tokens over there. But really just some new incredible utility for the token. We did have an AMA scheduled this week with Venkatesh, the CEO of Epico Regal, but we pushed that to next Wednesday. So I believe that's next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. But I'll share that invite for that as well. But come along to that if you want to learn more about Epico and their token integrations as well.
Just quickly on that, Reese, I saw a fair amount of speculation as to why that was pushed. Because, you know, Veve fam gonna Veve fam, but really was just a scheduling conflict, that's all.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look, I think we can all agree that launching anything like that this week isn't a good call anyway, but that just worked out better for us. No, it's just a scheduling conflict. Venkatesh is, honestly, he works as hard as Dan and Dave. Every time I speak to him, he's on a plane to this place or that place. New conference here, new conference there. So, yep, just a scheduling conflict there, and we'll reconvene next week for that conversation. So tune in, and we'll host that from the Ecomi Twitter. It may be the first ever Ecomi Twitter Spaces as well. Ooh. For anyone listening at the moment, we may release a POAP or something fun just to commemorate that. So yeah, come along if you want to be a part of that as well. A few other ecosystem updates. Some of you may have noticed that you can now also purchase OMI tokens through the Coinbase wallet extension. This works, it's the same as the MetaMask extension, and at the moment, because the only pool we have on Uniswap is ETH OMI, you need to use ETH to purchase your tokens. Now in the future, I think we'll look to establish a few other liquidity pools. OMI USDT would make sense based on our exchange listings, things like that. But really, we're just opening access to the OMI token to an even wider audience. I think the Coinbase wallet has, more than 1 million downloads. It's probably quite a lot more than that. A few other ecosystem things to be aware of. So some of you probably know that we've mentioned 3 games would be using the OMI token, one of which is Epico Regal. The second one is Features from a Mr. Brock McBlockchain. Now, Brock's been part of our community almost since day one, has his own project Features, and has since built an incredible little battle arena game where you can wager your OMI tokens, you can heckle other players, all of these kind of things, which will be coming out relatively soon. Now, I think he's also integrating directly into Immutable so that you'll be able to use your tokens, withdraw from Veve and send them straight there to make your life easier. But if you want to get involved in his project and learn more about how OMI will be involved, head to features.com. That's FEESHES.com. I believe there is some airdrops going out for anyone who holds a Feature soon as well, and anybody who does hold one will get beta access to the battle arena. It's currently being tested as we speak. So if you'd like to get involved there and see how OMI is going to be involved, definitely head over there and check it out, or jump in his Discord, which I believe you can go to fishcord.com, and that should take you straight there. Now, another one I have just become aware of, which is outside of the 3 game scope that we kind of initially spoke about, is from Cooper on Twitter. Right? The handle is @CCooperRE, if you want to search him. Now, he's already developed a game called Cannon Crisis, which he calls Play to Burn rather than Play to Earn. So this is a free game to play. Anyone can play it, and he uses the ad revenue from that game to buy and burn OMI tokens as well. We'll send them to our reserve wallet. Seems to have quite a number of games in the works that would also do the same thing, so go and check that out. That's C Cooper, so CCOOPERRE on Twitter, and I'm sure you'll find that game there. That is live already on Android and iOS.
Wow, that's pretty. He just developed that on his own.
Yes, he did. He did. And this is the beauty of an open source, a token that is available to all. And as many would know, the OMI token is now fully diluted. So the tokens that are in circulation, that's it. There can never be any more coming in. So really, the more places, more games, the more utilities that we add and anybody else chooses to add really benefits the ecosystem overall. So again, anyone who wants to continue to explore that avenue, reach out. We'll try to support you in as many ways as possible. And obviously, it's benefiting everybody involved. Okay, so that's the gaming front so far. Epico, Features, and Canon Crisis. Some other good news that is probably unexpected to most people, and I did have somebody ask a question similar to this earlier today, is are there any opportunities for staking the OMI token outside of Veve or outside of the app? And the answer is yes. We have actually just partnered with Ascendex, one of our exchange partners. They have a program called Ascendex Earn. And through this, as of next week, I believe it will go live on the 18th, you will be able to stake your OMI tokens on Ascendex's platform, and they're offering an initial staking reward of around 10% APR. So you can earn up to 10% on your OMI tokens staking through their exchange. Now, obviously, there are some inherent risks there. The main one being that you are trusting a third party to custody your assets. Now, these exchanges are obviously they've been in existence for a long time because they're good at what they do. We have full faith in Ascendex as an exchange, but it's pertinent to point that out. Typically, exchanges in these kind of programs would be lending out your tokens, which isn't the case with Ascendex. They won't be lending. They will actually be net buying tokens to pay that APR. So really positive force for the ecosystem. We're going to do some NFT giveaways as well, just to try and encourage people to stake over there. But fundamentally, the more tokens that are held out of circulation or in a program like that, benefiting you as a token holder because you're earning interest on your stake, and benefiting the ecosystem as it's holding tokens out of circulation. So if you don't already have an Ascendex account, I would say go and sign up over there. I'll release all of the details next week when this is ready to go live. But great news for OMI holders, especially in current market conditions, just to be able to add to that. And in addition, again, because of everything that's kind of happened over the last few weeks, I really want to focus on education in the crypto sphere. I think that is a really crucial part for people to understand why these events happen, as well as understand the industry and the markets in general and individual projects. So we do have a crypto education partnership coming. I would expect it to go live maybe early to mid next month. And obviously there will be a subscription fee there if you choose to sign up to this. It is a platform that I have used for a number of years, which is why I'm happy to recommend it to the fam. But again, any affiliate payments that come in from that, we will use to buy and burn OMI. So really, we're just trying to build out this ecosystem where all of these touch points are utilizing the token, giving you more uses for it, and benefiting the ecosystem in as many places as possible. So just a quick breeze over those details. We'll release more as they come to light. But some good news all around for the OMI token, I think.
Right on. Thank you very much. And I couldn't find like a tweet specifically linking to the Canon Crisis app, but a tweet that I did find kind of gives the little detail on it, pinned to the top here from C. Cooper. All right. Yep. Canon Crisis. Cool. All right. So let's move on to a few questions and we'll get some people on stage. Don't have too much time today, but we'll get to as many of these as possible. Crypto Show asks on Twitter, how is Veve positioned with Instagram and other social media apps? I guess, so this is related to Instagram announcing this week that they were going to be supporting NFT PFPs. Obviously, we are very keen on making these types of things happen across the board with not only Instagram, but Twitter. But all of that is contingent on the interoperability and being able to connect the wallet, right? So while we are excited to participate in that functionality, it's going to take just a little bit longer until we can have the full integration complete with the interoperability of the tokens. All right, Hillbilly asks, ooh, this is a good one. It's saucy. Do you think trust will ever be restored in the app after it's taking over a year and counting for cash out in the huge gem heist that wrecked all of us? Look, that is a very fair question. Obviously, there was a lot that happened over the course of the last several months that is very unfortunate, and things that we have worked very hard to correct and get us back on a path to where we want to be. The goal, as we mentioned at the top of this AMA, or at least the first iteration of this AMA, has always been to stay the course and really play this for the long term, right? Now, while we have been delayed in delivering some of these key updates, such as payout, and we did basically get ours handed to us for a little bit there by the bots and the gem heisting, we remain more committed than ever into making sure that this is the most secure and enjoyable experience for collecting both, your favorite IP and utility for that IP and collectibles moving forward. So, do we have some work ahead of us? Yes, of course. Will that trust? Did we burn some of that trust from? What are you saying, Reese?
Oh, I can just hear something tinking in the background.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry about everybody. Yeah, so we remain committed to obviously regaining the trust, and if we lost some people, that's obviously unfortunate. But for the people who have stuck with us, we do appreciate you, and we are going to make sure that we remain. Again, stay the course and make this a better experience for everybody across the board. Again, it's not really an excuse, but we keep harping on it, is that we grew way faster than I think any of us expected. So we've had to do a fair amount of catch up. But once we get some of these few key things out the door, I think you'll see that, the waters will be a lot less choppy.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the question. I did want to make sure that we touched on some of those because, we do get, for some reason or another, accused of taking only softball questions, which I don't feel is the case. But let's face it head on.
Agreed. I might just add to that quickly, Alex, if you don't mind. I know that all of us live and breathe Veve and NFTs and crypto, and that's why we're all here and so involved. But this is a brand new industry. NFTs weren't even in the public vernacular until 12, 18 months ago. And while bringing on Disney and Marvel and all these big brands is amazing for us, it's actually them showing, their confidence in this industry and in this, the digital product industry moving forward. So, if anyone thinks that our ambition stops at 2.5 million users, you don't know us well enough, frankly. But I just think I'd like to point out, we were always going to find teething problems on this journey because this has never been done before. Of course, I think that any trust that was lost will absolutely be regained. I think that our user base will continue to grow as strongly as it has been. And really, I'd like to thank everybody for sticking with us so far and coming for the ride, because it's been a roller coaster for everybody, frankly.
It's definitely been a ride. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Hillbilly, for the question. Moving on, Omicron asked, Veve Festivus relies on transfers of NFTs to be able to function. And if you're not familiar with Veve Festivus, it was a huge community organized effort of giveaways around the holiday season. That's how prizes are given out. Will transfers still be reactivated once MCP is implemented? And will this still take place before Q2 is over? So two answers. Yes, it will be transfers will be reactivated once MCP is implemented, but MCP is not a Q2 priority. As mentioned, the only Q2 priorities at this point are those main big ticket items of web KYC payout. As soon as we get those shipped, MCP will development, and it is in progress, but it will begin in earnest, because we do know and understand that it is a highly anticipated feature for a lot of the collectors, especially the OGs who have been with us all this time. But in order to do that correctly, we need to make sure our resources are focused on the important items at hand. So for all those asking, hard dates, obviously we don't do hard dates because things can slip. But Q2, I mean, it's about as about as firm as we can give you at this point, because those are tied to dates essentially. But MCP still in the works, still a priority, just not a Q2 priority. So we apologize. I know that's probably not what you want to hear entirely, but we will look into some other options and how to enable transfers moving forward. But as Dan mentioned in the community update video, that is likely going to be a function of the MCP. All right, Reese, I got an Ecomi question here for you.
Go for it.
And then we'll get some people up on stage. Actually, while I read this, if you want to maybe bring a couple up, and then Skeet,
sure.
if you want to prepare a Discord question. All right, the IT guy asks, and I think we covered this a little bit, due to recent volatility of OMI and crypto in general, is determining OUP staking tiers by dollar value sustainable? The recent decrease in OMI token price would likely see many users fall to lower tiers and require further investment to return to a desired tier. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so I guess a few things to say to that. Is determining the OUP by dollar value sustainable? Yes, I think so. We wouldn't actually determine the number of tokens until staking was about ready to go live, so that the volatility at that point isn't really a factor to consider. We've kind of come to the conclusion that once you have staked, your staking allocation will be that way for that quarter or that time period. So even if there is volatility within that time period, if you qualified at the beginning of it, say at the beginning of each quarter, then you remain at that tier for the rest of that quarter. Now, I think we will reprice at the end of each time period. Let's stick with a quarter for now to make it easy, but we'll do it in a way that isn't insanely unfavorable to those who staked originally, if that means they need to add to their stake or maintain their tier. There's also opportunity there to say, well, if this was the value when you staked, then you get to maintain that stake until you change your tier, right? Unless you decide to withdraw or wish to go up. So no, I don't really see volatility being an issue there. I think we've kind of programmatically eliminated a lot of that potential downside. And really, theoretically, as more people stake, there's less tokens in circulation. It should or could lead to the token price increasing, which fundamentally would actually enable those early stakers to withdraw some of their stake when that unlock period is available, instead of losing to the downside. So, really, I think that staking overall will be net positive for the token, purely based on the circulating supply. And as always with these programs, the people who stake first or early stand to benefit the most. So I think that probably wraps that up, to be honest.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have somebody on stage yet? Actually, no, Skeet, you got a question from Discord?
Yeah, to be fair, we've wrapped up quite a few of them. You've already covered over a bunch. There's just a couple.
Let me guess. When cash out?
Oh no! Yeah, those ones. I know you're going to cover those every single AMA in the Discord. All of that, we get that all the time. But one, I guess, was a little bit more of a difficult one that you mentioned earlier. How are we planning? This was from Eldurian Knight. So, how are we planning to protect, drop integrity after the web app goes live without the queuing mechanism? With it being a web app, and it means more public APIs and much easier access, etc.
Yeah. So, well, there will be no public APIs, but to the point of security, yes, I mean, that's part of why this is in beta initially, is to make sure we are evaluating any potential security holes, to make sure that when we do enable, waitlist, for instance, in the full community access or public access to this, that those drops retain their integrity. That is continuing to work with our security partners on that. We've obviously done quite a bit to limit that on mobile, And so we'll take some of those same principles, but also an extra layer of added security, knowing how easy it is, how much easier rather it is for kind of emulators and auto clickers on a web type of environment. So all of that is being considered in this beta, which is why we're doing this in phases.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, that's the main one that was kind of left off. We had a big list at the start, but as we've kind of gone through, you covered off the majority of them. So I'll still have we get any more.
All right. Well, shout out to the Discord. Shout out to the Discord mods and the Ski. Thank you for continuing to hold it down over there. We appreciate you. Well, it looks like, this guy just can't get enough of the spotlight. In fact, we were just talking about in a Marvel executive meeting the other day, hey, Randy Chavez, that guy is just, man, isn't he awesome? And now here he is on an AMA up on stage. Fancy that. You had a tweet pinned to the top. You had a quote pinned to the top. You were just the man this week, Randy. How goes it?
Goes well. I heard my name 3 times like Beetlejuice and had to appear.
What you got for us, Randy?
I was just saying thanks for having me, guys. I was wondering if just to clarify for the staking, this is on Ascendex, and that doesn't mean that we won't have staking on the Veve app. That would just be a separate staking.
Correct.
Correct.
This is, obviously we're all waiting for staking in the Veve app. Still a while off that implementation being built. So this really gives token holders a great way to earn on their tokens, in particular, in the meantime. So obviously the staking in the Veve app is more for app benefits and collectibles and things like that. Whereas this is the only way so far to actually earn OMI tokens on your OMI stake.
Do we know a lockup period, or are we just going to get an article next week on it?
I will put an article out with all of the details. There's no lockup per se. I think if you want to unstake, there's a 7-day waiting period, or you can pay a small fee to unstake instantly. I think that fee is only 0.5% of what you have staked there. So yeah, really, I think there's a 7-day kind of withdrawal period, but outside of that, you're not sort of committing your stake for 2 months, 3 months, anything like that. And the APR is compounding daily. Actually, I think that's an opt-in. You can select to compound, or you can just have it accrue. But obviously, compounding for most of us would be the right choice, and that will compound daily and be added to your account.
All right, copy that. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Great. And, Randy, anytime you want to send me that late night booty call podcast invite like you did with you, please. I don't think you want Superstar Money to get the first exclusive ahead of you.
I want to make you jealous.
You have been in my car, for God's sakes. So, I thought that, got me a little something.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. All right, next, who do we have on stage, or do we want to move to another Twitter question while you pull?
No, we've got Fresh 91 on stage.
Okay, let's go.
We'll do a couple more from the audience, I think. If you have us there, Fresh 91.
Fresh. MA Silver 91.
All right. Maybe not. I'll just bring up the second man of the hour, Mr. Brock McBlockchain, if he's connected. Oh. Nope, he got rugged. Sorry, mate.
All right, I'll give you another question while you pull somebody up.
Go for it.
Do you care, or are you concerned that the burn rate is increasing so quickly? Would it be ideal for it to be slower?
It would be ideal for it to be more controlled than based on wild market price fluctuations. I would say, but no, we're not concerned at the moment. There's still a massive reserve of tokens there. As you're starting to see the pieces come together, I think everyone can see that we're implementing quite a number of things to keep that reserve topped up. But as we've kind of alluded to in these brief tokenomic chats, we have created a new system that will protect that reserve regardless of market price. So, no, is the answer. We're not really concerned about it. And obviously, in the meantime, let's burn as many tokens as we can. Frankly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Burn it all. All right.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
So Fresh is still up, but I don't think he can really hear us. So Dave, if you're up here, DCB.
I'm here. What's up, boys?
Perfect. Welcome to the
Hey.
stage.
How we doing, Skeet, Reese, Alex? How we doing? Everybody good?
Well, brother.
All right.
Well,
All good, Dave. All good.
Good, man. Good. So I'm gonna rattle these off super quick, Alex, because I know he hates it when I ask multiple questions. So I'm gonna say two. So I'm just gonna say two, like everybody else. So first thing, Reese, is for you from the OMI side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be a change in any way, shape, or form to tokenomics? Because I'm seeing on Reddit versus a bunch of different places that like there's like the token movement, I guess, of what we're seeing isn't really adding up to what the white paper is kind of what the white paper actually is stating. So
yeah,
that's the first part. And is there a place one central place that we can go to get all of this information?
yeah. So there will be once we kind of post this. Now we're going to put it all out together, right? There's this kind of. I'm not saying we're changing the tokenomics because it's not really the right way to go about it, but we're refreshing them, right? Now, the disconnect at the moment is with the buybacks. And as most people would know, we are waiting for some regulatory clearance or really just clarity around that. Now, when markets crash like they just did, we tend to get more regulatory scrutiny than less. So we're definitely still erring on the side of caution there. But we're not going to just rest on that and hope that we just get this magical green light that lets us do things as planned. So in the meantime, we're trying to implement as many ways to burn tokens from circulation, which the FAM is now massively contributing to with all these games. And we're protecting the reserves so that we have the longevity in the app and make sure that system survives. So fundamentally, no, I wouldn't say the tokenomics are changing. It's still very much the same system, the same underlying system, and the token will still always underpin Veve in the same way. We're just readjusting the formulas to protect the reserve is probably the most succinct place to put that. Now, when that comes out, yes, I'm going to put together a tokenomics portal. I don't know if any of you saw the IMX tokenomics portal that went out recently, because I think we can all agree all token info at the moment is scattered across the blog and across old posts and videos and all of those things. So once that is ready to go live, I will have it all in one place, make it much easier to understand, and happily walk people through it.
You're the best. Thank you. And I'm not going to hold you to the date, but a month, 3 months, 4 months. What do we?
Yeah. Dates.
No date. Don't give me a date.
Yeah. At the moment, so these OUP sign-offs and things, I'm waiting for our legal clearance on those. Because we are waiting on that clarity around buybacks to know whether we, what capacity we can include them in. If we can't do them as intended originally, we have backup plans that have the same effect and use the same idea. So just waiting on clarity on that as well, really. As soon as I have that, we can have this out. I'm hesitant to put a date on it, but
that's fine. No, I don't want a date. Don't commit. Please don't say a date. I don't want you to commit to a date.
Yeah, it backfires when I do, so I'm trying not to. But we're obviously working.
The stage, Reese.
Okay, yeah, we're working hard to get there.
I got you. So I appreciate that, Reese. Alex, here's my my second to last question. In regard, I love that you guys are taking feedback and everything, right? With what Curtis is doing and Brock is doing and everything else. If you guys realize that the community can bring that much value, why no public API? Because I feel like this community can build such amazing tools. And I've seen some of the tools that people can make. I'm just curious, why no public API?
Just because it's not a priority at this point. There will be at some point an API for certain people. For instance, like OMI the Clown is using an API, right? But
I will just, sorry, Alex, I don't mean to cut you off there. I don't know that API will be public, right, and open to the public, because it is technically accessing or using user data, right? So there has to be some sort of agreement in place with us at the very least to be able to access that data to protect ourselves, but also to protect our entire user base from anything like that. So I don't know that we'll just kind of release one public API and let everybody have at it, but we are progressive.
Or maybe the people that want to build tools, right?
For sure.
That want to, community members that want to build tools. Are we going to is that something that we're actively looking at?
Yeah. We are. Yeah, it is actually progressing quite well in the development phase, and we will start to open that up to more people. When I have a bit more capacity and brain space, I will open up a conversation with anyone who does want to use that data or access that API. And we just need some details from you as well to say, here's what you're building, or how are you going to use that data, those kind of things. So, yep, it's absolutely coming, because I agree, the community can build so many things so much quicker collectively than we can as a single entity.
Yeah, and I genuinely think, guys, like this is something that, like, I've seen tools that are currently built right now that off of the IMX API, like that are like obviously without having metadata, but that is super impressive. That gives so much insight, and I don't even know if it can help out you guys. I know that you're obviously using third parties for bots and this and that, but like I think it could be really beneficial. So Reese, if it's cool with you, like I'd love to send you a DM and maybe we could schedule some time just to show you.
Yep, for sure, man. Yep, shoot me a message.
Amazing. Alex, thank you for not kicking me off. Check out, guys, I got a space for another project, 7:30 p.m. We're providing liquidity in these markets. We're giving away gems. 7:30, look up in the space. I love you guys.
All right, love you. Get out. All right, so quickly, let's move back to submitted questions. I got a few of these and saw some hubbub on Twitter this week in discussing an update to the TNCs. So what that essentially, I think, was the concern is that the term limited license, right? So let me just kind of quickly break this down. I won't try to spend too long with it because it is basically legalese. When people refer to NFTs, they're effectively referring to two things, right? There's the non-fungible token itself, and you own that token on the blockchain. And a piece of digital content associated with that token, in our case, a digital collectible, that you have a license to that digital content. And the word limited, when used with a license, simply means that there is some form of limitation to the license. So if it was not a limited license, it means you could do whatever you want. So like, for instance, Bored Ape Yacht Club. One of the guys who owns that, one of the Bored Apes, went and started a fast food restaurant themed after his Bored Ape. He was fully able to do that because when you buy a Bored Ape, you also are buying essentially the full license of that IP. We obviously don't offer that, and neither do our main competitors. So like whether you're buying from Recur, Palm, DC, etc., they're all limited license. This is just very standard legalese messaging within the space. You own the token itself, you own the collectible, but you couldn't then buy a partner statue and then create your own Club 33 partners, Mickey and Walt restaurant, in downtown Los Angeles, right? So that's just kind of the distinction. Limited license doesn't mean that we can pull it from you at any time. That's not going to happen. Doesn't mean if we lose, we end our partnership with Disney, it doesn't mean your collectibles are gone. That's not what it means. You still own the collectible. You just can't then commercialize that collectible or that IP. Cool? All right.
Cool.
Next person on stage.
Yeah, I'll bring a couple up. Mr. Akil, been a while. Come up for a yarn, and then we'll get a couple of names.
No offense, Akil. I love you, but let's get some new faces here. Huh?
I'm out later.
although, did you are you still cleanly shaven? That's considered a new face?
I still have a clean face for now. I thank you very much, but it's only because it's wedding season, wedding crashers, hell of a season.
Yeah.
You got to fit in.
Oh yeah.
Very fair, very fair. Do you have a question while you're here, sir?
I did have a short question. Do you guys believe, and it's not a hard-hitting question, it's like more like a smack in the face. Do you believe that you'll be able to withstand the volatility in the secondary market right now and people's trust in the licensures there? Or is it going to be one of those situations where, the resell isn't going to be quite as much as it currently is?
Yes. Yeah, in short. I mean, obviously, as we always maintain, we don't control the prices that people choose to sell their collectibles for. But the entire point of the Master Collector program is to incentivize those kind of things, incentivize collecting, incentivize trading. You'll get points for daily activities, participating in the market, that sort of stuff, all which then serve to benefit you within the app. So we obviously have quite a number of incentivization mechanisms coming. And I'm not going to go as far as saying they'll balance out the volatility, because I think that as this ecosystem grows, as our product offerings grow, instead of just having a VV bull market, you might have a collectible stamp bull market, and you might have a collectible vehicle bull market as those brands and products become more available. So I think that's probably what we'll end up seeing longer term. And as that
and it's also worth, sorry to cut you off. It's also worth noting that we haven't seen. I'll maintain that we haven't seen, true market behavior yet in the app, right? We've seen obviously the speculative phase, and then post bot kind of seeming leveling out or crash, as some people have put it. But essentially, we still don't have payout. But once we do, that it's going to set a whole other set of behaviors. Once we have MCP, that's going to be a whole other set of behaviors. But this was always meant to be, a collector's app, a long-term play, right? And I tend to want to correct people when people refer to us as a project, right? Because we're not a project. This is a business. This is a collector's app by collectors for collectors. This is not like one IP's worth of PFPs and that we need to kind of layer it with some kind of utility roadmap. That's not to say we won't have utility moving forward, but the purpose of this app is to continue to bring new experiences, new IP, new types of utility, and expand outward from there, as opposed to buying into one thing, right? So that's that. I don't know. A little more than what you actually
asked. And then I'm sorry, my second question is going to be, have the contracts for the L2 with Immutable X been negotiated for the first wave? Don't need to know which ones, but have they already been negotiated for the first wave that will be able to go on to the Immutable X and L2?
That's probably a Dan question. I don't know if he would say yes or no, but I mean, it's been in the works for quite a while now, and was a big driver in us moving to Immutable in the first place. So yeah, I would imagine that the contracts between us and the licensors or the artists, I think, would be established or on their way to being established. And the smart contract integrations, I'd have to ask Immutable as to where that is actually at from a technical standpoint.
Well, thank you all very much. And as always, have a great day and a better tomorrow.
You too, mate. All right. I think we've got a few more on stage. If we want to throw to Adriel, Money Tree.
Hey guys, thank you for letting me talk. I had a question for you, Reese. So I'm very new to Immutable X, and I want to get into the OMI staking, right? So I know you have that bridge with the Immutable X, but my question to you is, let's say I have let's say $500 of OMI already on Immutable X, right? Like I didn't bridge it; it's just there from either selling something or so. Can I use that to like that my balance to bridge it to Veve, or does it has to be using the bridge website?
Yeah. So if it's on Immutable X, as in you can see your balance on the IMX marketplace, I'm assuming, you can send that straight to your Veve app. Now you still have to use that bridging site, right? Because you can't actually, there's no send functionality in the Immutable marketplace. So if you connect your same MetaMask wallet to that bridging site, it will let you send then to your Veve app. So you don't need to bridge at all. You just need to connect to that site to be able to send your tokens. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. And my second question is it better to have it on the MetaMask than Immutable X? Like you're saying, you're gonna have to use the MetaMask to bridge it. Would it be better for gas fees? Let's say because I have already some in my MetaMask. And I will have some on the Immutable X, right? Let's say would it make more sense to transfer from already the MetaMask to the using the bridge, or is it better to have it on the Immutable X? You get what I'm trying to say? Like as far as less fees?
I do.
Like less gas fees?
So for starters, on layer 2, on Immutable, there are no gas fees, right? Once your tokens are there, you don't pay gas. But what's important to understand is the balance you are seeing on the IMX marketplace is actually being stored in your MetaMask because you've registered your MetaMask address there at some point, right? That's kind of how it works. So even though you might see different balances if you open the MetaMask browser extension compared to the IMX marketplace, but that's because the IMX marketplace is showing you your layer 2 balance, whereas your MetaMask standalone is probably showing you OMI on layer 1 if you have any there. So it's actually it's the same address, it's the same wallet. You're just looking at it on 2 different interfaces. Does that help?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so new to the crypto area, so I'm trying to learn, and I
Jump
definitely
in,
want to stake. So I wanna get better at it.
For sure. There is an OMI chat. There's an OMI channel in our Discord, in the VV Discord, and obviously there's the Ecomi Telegram. But jump in there, and anyone will happily assist you in these kind of things too. Just be wary anytime you post, particularly in Telegram. If anybody starts to private message you with links and help and assistance, it is 100,000% a scam. So never open those things. Right? Our admins will never directly message you. But if you want to save space, I know Puddin' Cheeks is a very avid moderator in the OMI channel in the VV Discord, and anyone there can help you out.
Come to office hours on Sunday. I run a free one for the entire community at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All are welcome. And
where can people find that, Dave?
Twitter Spaces.
Twitter Spaces, 3 p.m. Sundays. Perfect. There you go. Thank you, sir. All right.
A quick question from Twitter. The man who tweets more than anybody I've ever seen anybody tweet in the history of tweets, VD Viral. Hello. Are promotional OMI burns still in the pipeline?
No comment.
Okay. I probably should have screened that with you beforehand, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. My bad. All right. Who else we got on?
No, look, it'll make more sense when we bring out some of this new information. I think that's where we'll leave that for now.
Spicy.
All right. No spicy.
Skull emoji.
All right. I think we got one more on stage. Daddy Dollars, you up here? You got to speak.
What's up? I didn't realize y'all called me up.
Yeah, mate.
I appreciate it. Just want to thank all y'all for all the work you guys do. Been with you guys since almost the beginning. Just one question regarding utility. You guys plan on or spoken about doing any like real world utility with the collectibles? I've seen other projects doing certain real world utility. I was just seeing if that's something in the pipeline for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nothing that we can speak about at this point. Obviously, that stuff is still in the works and long-term planning. When it involves IP. But yes, the short answer is yes. We are looking for new and creative ways to introduce real-world utility, whether that's part of just holding and collecting, or part of MCP, or part of our artist rollout, or events that we may attend. All of that stuff is on the table. I'm working on a few of those things now, and whether that's comes in the form of access, or to an event, or the ability to purchase physical and digital counterparts. All of that are things that we are very excited about and are working towards, but nothing to announce or at this point. I mean, part of the real world utility I think you're getting that we've seen thus far is with the Jurassic Park thing, right? For the double feature leading up to the release of Jurassic World Dominion. If you bought the double feature ticket through AMC, you get a redemption code for a free NFT, which is really cool. So that type of utility is already in place and here today, though we are looking forward to doing kind of like reverse, where the actual digital collectible gets you physical items as well.
Okay. Yep. I appreciate that, man. And once again, I just want to thank you guys for everything y'all doing, opening up all these opportunities for people to talk to you guys and get the questions out in the air.
Right on. Thanks for coming up. All right, we got a little bit of time left here. I got to jump on a call at 2:30, Reese. So let's maybe wrap it up with one or two last questions.
Yeah, perfect. Have you got any more from the Twitter sphere there, or?
Let's see here. I think we've covered most of it, but
I got questions if you need them.
Yeah, throw one or two, and I'll bring a couple more people up we may not have spoken to before, and then we'll wrap it up.
Me? Yes. Maybe.
Yes, please.
So,
let's
talk about ownership for a quick second, right? Like, this kind of came up the other day. I know that we kind of just touched on it. When David spoke in Australia about the interoperability with utility, I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be amazing. But when we talk about actual ownership and licenses, Alex, I know that it's a very touchy subject. But when we download the files onto our phone, right? Does that just make it? I just kind of want to get clarification. Does that just make it easier for us or for us to use it in AR? Because you know how we have that ability to like either like delete the files or add them. Like if the file's on my phone, in a sense, it's like, well, I kind of own the file, but I can't really. Can I do anything with that file?
No. So the distinction is you own the token, and not the license, right?
Oh no,
So
no.
yeah, yes, you do own. You own the asset associated with the token, and so it's actually fairly cut and dry. So it's not. It's you own the token, you own the collectible. You just cannot commercialize that IP.
Can I use the asset on another? If I were to build something like because it's a bunch like the asset's pretty much like a bundle of like different files, right? When I download it onto my phone, right? You know how we can download it when we see Elsa's at 30 megs or whatever. Like, is that file like? Can I transport that file elsewhere?
I don't think so.
No, not currently out of the app. I mean, eventually, when there's interoperability, you'll be able to move it between wallets. But I mean, I don't know what you would be using it for by downloading the file pack. Like, you can't get anything out of the app anyway right now.
It'd be image files, which probably wouldn't be any different to just like downloading, an image.
I guess like what's the 36 megs of Elsa? You know what I mean? Whatever the 36 megs is comprised of.
Yeah. No, I don't think, even if you could download it, and have that file specifically pulled, I think we've built things in a way where that doesn't take place. But maybe we confirm that with Dan next week just to get some more clarity around it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know
no, we've got a couple up here. Love seeing all these bat cows out there. Shout out bat cows. Ganja Babe, if you're up here.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for taking my request to speak.
No problem.
I wanted to ask about the application and the web platform regarding communications. Will there be some improvement so that we can do things like direct messaging or filtering and sorting notifications from others?
Yes. In short, it's definitely part of the longer term roadmap. Obviously, building in your own sort of direct messaging system is quite a hefty integration, and we do have other priorities. But yeah, I mean, Veve fundamentally is a social platform, right? And a social network, for lack of better terms. So the more of those integrations we can build to connect people to each other, to make trades, to enjoy the experience together, that's obviously what we're aiming at. So yes, longer term, it will definitely be a thing. I would argue it's probably easier to build now with the web platform than it would have been in mobile. But I'm also not a developer, so don't quote me on that.
Awesome. That sounds great. I look forward to it. And thank you so much. I just want to say that I've really been enjoying Veve so much. I came in like when the Cryptkins dropped, and I haven't been addicted since.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So, big shout out to y'all.
Sweet bat cow, by the way.
Thank you. All right.
I need to rock mine on my PFP or somewhere. I have one, but I don't know what to do with it yet. I've been so busy. All right, so that actually puts me beyond time. Sorry, everybody. Since I'm behind the Twitter handle, I have to rug everybody.
That's right.
So thank you very much, everybody. We'll send. I think we'll get back to posting some key bullet points recap for those of you who don't want to listen to the full hour and a half. But the space is recorded, so you can go back and listen at any time. Again, thank you, everybody. We will continue to have these on a bi-weekly basis when they don't match up with the monthly community video updates with Dan and David. But yeah, everything's still on track. So appreciate your patience and, wag me.
Perfect. Thanks everybody for coming. Tariq, the last speaker we had up here, I have just sent you a message. If you want to let me know what your question was, I'll get that answered too. Thanks everybody for turning out. Exciting things. Stay safe out there.
And the space was gone before he could finish his sentence. So what do you guys think about this AMA? Let me move my camera here a little bit more into the corner. What do you guys think? Hope you can still hear me, and let's watch this Thor a little bit more here on the side, but without sound, so that, I mean, I think that from what I can see, that face looks actually good. So this looks like a really well done collectible. It has animations, so I don't know about you guys, but this seems to be superior to the not so well done faces and collectibles that we have seen before. I mean, we cannot see it in so much detail, but yeah. And also, yeah, let's talk about some highlights. I mean, half of the AMA was just repeating what has been announced before, right? Like Epico Regal is providing burns in some way. Bridge is instated so you can swap between layer 1 and layer 2. Fishes game, whatever. But I think really, like Oliver says here in the chat, the big announcement here was actually that you will be able to stake for around 10% APY on a Sendex. And yeah, as JTM says, a lot of good news, but I'm not wowed. So I think that the staking on Sendex was unexpected, as the possibility to buy OMI on the browser extension Chrome, on the Coinbase browser extension for Chrome, was also quite unexpected. So if we sum that, the funny thing is, we are getting all these little chunks of things that are progressing, but we are always not satisfied because we are expecting the big milestone. But they said, and now I will really hold them to it, MTL still on track, and we know we need Webapp, KYC, and then we can have MTL. So if we see the Webapp come out, we're halfway there, I think, because the rest depends on it. So yeah, I think it was overall a good AMA. And another thing, I think, during the time with the bots and when they were really pissed, they came across as a little bit cocky, downplaying certain and obvious problems and delays. But I think communication has gotten a lot better. So admitting to the delays, admitting to miscommunication, communicating problems and delays that are coming up earlier. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. So if I just let this Thor here play a little bit so that everyone can look at it again, I'm definitely going for that, just for a chance to get an ultra rare or secret rare, because they are probably going to be quite expensive. And if I hit a common as always, then that's part of the game. Spike Spiegel says, staking sounds cool, but do you know what it would cost in fees to transfer a balance of OMI to Sendex? Now that we are on ERC20, so Ethereum network, you will have some severe Ethereum gas fees. So if you would, I mean, we're fairly low in the OMI price, and as we are expecting the Bitcoin to put in another lower low, probably OMI will also dip more. It doesn't look like they will pump up and never come back to these levels. So it might be also just good if you don't have OMI on a Sendex yet. This is my strategy, right? Not financial advice and stuff. But probably I will just open up in the next days an Sendex account and just buy some OMI there that I will specifically hold for staking. Therefore, I would also mitigate my risk, because I definitely will never stake all of my OMI. That's just way too risky. I mean, it's not that I'm just a big whale. To be fully transparent, I have like 1.15 OMI right now, so close to 1.2 million OMI, not 1.2 OMI. and I'm just slowly DCAing, creeping my way up to 2 million, and then I will reassess the situation. I mean, depending on how the price goes, this could happen faster as we think, right? So, I mean, if you look at this, so I bought a big chunk of OMI here, and when this happened, I was super happy with myself. And now I see, okay, you just could have several millions if you would have just waited. But if we remember this time, this is around after Christmas, it looked like here we would get several exchanges and whatnot. So there was kind of a misinformation coming in as well. So right now, so I bought here. So I'm buying bits and pieces all the way down, just trying to get my average lower and lower and lower and lower. So then when it pumps, that I'm hopefully already in the green zone when I'm here. And when, I mean, we pass, I mean, I said this in the beginning of the stream. This was the all-time low after that massive pump to 1 cent. So this is the big low, this is the big support line. And we're below that. We had a candle close below that. And now we pumped a little bit over that. But in order to reverse this trend, we have to take out these highs here. And I don't see that happening with where Bitcoin is heading. So more likely than not, we are going to see more lower prices and other entries. Okay. I think market has bottomed out, and with cash out in the next 6 weeks, it will be a different game with new capital coming in. Yeah, so Bernard is obviously talking about the in-app prices. I mean, that can be right, but we all know that this can take a couple of weeks longer than expected, because even if they do KYC and stuff, they will just be, okay, people are doing KYC. We are going to wait until a lot of people have done KYC, and then we're rolling out cash out more and more. So that's probably what they are going to say. Oliver says, I plan to do the same thing. I will buy some on Ascendex solely for staking. Yeah, so if you, this 10% APY will be probably a yearly yield. So you would, if you buy 100K on Ascendex, which is around $150 right now only, and you stake them, you get 10K OMI per year. That doesn't sound so much, but let's just consider that after next Bitcoin halving, OMI goes to 50 cents or to 80 or to $1, right? So in 3 years, that would make you a 10K per year if you are still staking. And in all the years until that Bitcoin halving, you would have made OMI that is worth 10K. Just trying to put things into perspective. Right now, it makes you $10 at those prices. Spike says, at hodler, also I noticed the Binance and Ascendex apps use a lot of the same UI features. I'm talking fonts, layout, illustration style. Are they the same company? No, I think not. I believe not. I think they are not, but probably this is just a type of benchmarking what works and what not. Because if you would build an exchange right now, you would look at what the bigger ones are doing right. I figured that's how they are looking similar, and maybe they are even using certain codes and templates the same. Jatim says the staking, you probably mean, sounds good with a real locking period, and maybe they spice it up with NFTs. So this is what I think for some people is still confusing. The staking on Ascendex is something that Ascendex offers and has nothing to do with the Veve team. This is like Gate.io listed Ecomi without even talking to Ecomi Veve. They were not even, when they did the migration, they didn't talk to them either. So this is I think it's called a guerrilla listing, where you just do it and you don't ask. And I think Ascendex doing the same thing. Besides that, they probably informed Ecomi and probably talked with them in terms of making it all happen without any problems. So, but they don't need any approval to offer staking on Ascendex. That's the one staking. The other staking is the one that OMI or Ecomi Veve is offering. And this one doesn't grant you yield farming in terms of getting OMI because of regulatory issues. So the SEC has more or less made it clear that certain things will directly hit your project, or they don't want to be called a project, their business with a lawsuit. So them offering staking with paying the yield directly from that company to increase the value would make OMI a security. So they cannot do this type. But what they can do is make you stake OMI and then give you benefits within the Veve app. And I bet the separation of Ecomi and Veve and having them only linked to each other within the mother company, which is Orbis, I think that is the reason why they can do the stake, or why they have separated it, and why they have to do burns via periphery projects like Epico Regal, for example, because they cannot do buybacks into the reserve wallet. But what they can do is having another project automatically via smart contract sending OMI into the reserve wallet, because technically if they give me the reserve wallet address, I can send 1,000 OMI into the reserve wallet, I believe. I'm not sure, but I believe, or into the burn wallet direct, if they would just put out the wallet address. So maybe I believe that's the way to go or for avoiding the regulatory issues with the SEC, with the New Zealand government, and so on. Is there any documentation or info regarding OUP on the Veve app? It's not on the Veve app, but it's on Medium. So Ecomi put out a Medium article, first iteration of the OMI utility program. I've also mentioned the staking tiers in my previous burn video, where I explain all the burns. So if you go to my channel videos, there is the live stream with ViveFox, and one video before I'm talking about all the burn mechanisms and lock-in mechanisms that are existing until today. Now, the only one that is not in that video is the Ascendex staking, which is also periodically lock-up for the token that I didn't know of at the time, obviously. But that video could be interesting, and obviously I will update the OMI utility program stuff, the MCP stuff, the burn stuff, once I know more and once I can generate another video. But I have a lot of plans, but only so much time, 9-to-5 job still, so I'm far away from living from YouTube. So you always have to see that it could take a little bit longer until I can get content out, because for obvious reasons. I still got to work besides this work. Might take a bit longer after MTL hits until we see a definite upwards trend, yes. I'm mostly building my market sentiment on the TOD value, as I'm a hodler and it came back from 2 to 3K. Yeah, so same for me. So what I will do is, whenever I feel like it, I was waiting for a bigger announcement like Star Wars. We didn't get it today, damn. But we got Thor, which is cool. If we see prices drop further, I might accumulate a little bit more collectibles, trying to scale into that. But honestly, with these prices, if you consider you buy a collectible or you get 100k OMI, I buy 100k OMI, even if it's let's say Timon and Pumbaa is between 120 and 150 gems. Would you rather have a common Timon and Pumbaa or 100k OMI? So what can give you a faster and more reliable 10 or 100x? I have no idea, but you'll tell me. So for me, this before I pay 100 gems or $100 onto those collectibles at the moment, I'd rather get around 100k OMI once it drops more. No, Reese has said the thing about give out NFTs as promotion. Not sure, JTemp, not sure, excuse me guys, not sure what you're referring to, but so the promotional NFTs, they are from the cinema of AMC ticket stubs, or not stubs, but the collectibles that you can redeem. Other than that, we have a giveaway, yes. Keep it up, mate. Thank you, straight out of my bed. Oh man, that's saying that name will always cause a little bit confusion, I guess. Oliver says, I love the channel, keep up the great work. Yeah, so thank you very much for supporting me here, guys. Awesome to see that. Oh, actually, the chat is hidden from the camera, so let's put it here. I think that's better. No, it's too much on the side, but let's see. What are you doing for a living, if you don't mind sharing? I'm leading a small sales department. Yeah, and trying to learn a lot. And on the side, I identified crypto, and I like it. And now Ecomi and some other projects are kind of a passion. So I really want to do more in terms of news, more in terms of educational content, as far as I know it. Accompany my journey also, so that you get last video, if you haven't seen yet, maybe check it out. I've also shared lessons learned from losing, what is it, like 200 euros in Terra, lessons learned about crypto crash, what I did wrong when entering crypto. So this is just part of my journey, I guess, to inform what went wrong, where I lost stuff. So yeah, I'm working in sales. I'm working in the space of logistics, of the logistics industry. So that's why I'm also pretty close to the VeChain project. Sometimes make a video or sometimes talk about it. I think it's a good project, but it will take years for that to have big institutional adoption, in my opinion. Very good question, 100k Komi. Yeah, so I mean, this is always, not only within the VV collectibles, I question that. Like, when I see a secret rare comic for whatever comic, like nothing special, and you see it's 100 gems, you could get a golden moment for that. So I always ask myself, this collectible or a golden moment for me are like the reference collectibles that you can get some golden moments for under 100 gems right now. And I always ask myself, would you rather have that or a golden moment? Where are you from? I'm from Germany, and specifically from the around Munich. So everyone in the chat, where are you from? So last live stream, we had a lot of people from like Arizona. We had people from Brussels, from Belgium, from France. I remember. Where was the city there? I don't remember the city from France. But we had a lot of people from different countries, and it's late in Europe already. It's almost midnight right now, and you can hear my voice is a little bit. So the temperature in Europe is changing quickly right now. A couple of weeks ago, we still had very, very low temperatures, and now we get the summer is coming fast. So yeah, cool. I'm from the UK. Yo, where are you from the UK? We had other people from the UK as well. I think in the last live stream I said it. I have been to Cornwall, to Truro once, like as a child in school. And Duncan is from Paris in France. Awesome. I think we talked about this in the last live stream, but excuse me if I asked you already and I forgot it. But yeah, it's always great to see that people are tuning in from all around the world. So Oliver is from Brighton, from the south. Is that I have no, honestly, I have no idea where exactly, but yeah. Z Phaser is from the Netherlands. I have been to the Netherlands already. I've been to Amsterdam. Obviously, everyone has been to Amsterdam who was in the Netherlands. And I have been to Utrecht. I hope I said that right. And besides that, I can say Goedemorgen and stuff like that. But it sounds so familiar with German. And then again, I don't understand the word. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. But yeah, so languages, visiting other countries always have been my passion. Tobias says, originally from Germany, near Stuttgart. Yo, I have been to Stuttgart last weekend. That's also where so if you're on Twitter and you see my Twitter channel, I posted from Stuttgart, where the firefighters actually were presenting their work and how it feels running into a burning house with AR or with virtual reality goggles. That was impressive. So we spent a little bit of time in Stuttgart. We have been visiting family, and you're now living in Prague. So that's also not too far away. There's a direct connection from Munich to Prague by train. Actually, it's also interesting. I don't know. We have been. So maybe you know this, Tobias. We have been to a smaller city that is called Backnang. Z-Phaser says, yeah, you said it right. Goedemorgen. Okay. I'm glad that I did. OMI down more, yes or no? Yes. In my humble opinion, yes, more. The reason why is, let me just get my face out of the way here so that you see the chat and you see the chart. Oopsie. That was not the intention. That was the intention. Okay. Let me just shorten this window here a little bit. Okay. That should work. Okay, so the reason why I believe OMI is going down more, but it can take a look. I think we will see. Sorry, the chat is gone. I think we will see lower prices here, but we could see like something like trending up here and hit our head on one of these major. I mean, this is also an important line. We see that it caused a retest and noisy area right here, and we see that it struggled, and this is the daily chart. So we have been struggling a week or so until we fell through this line here. So let me just get this a little bit bigger. I will just rinse it. So, I mean, we hit our head here. We fell through this line, which took us 4 to 5 days. And now, I mean, it looked a lot coming back. Coming back, it looked a lot with like 30%, but you always have to consider, if you fall 40%, you need 80% to recover, like as a pump. So what we saw right now is already this late, we didn't even come up here like in a bigger move. We got sold off immediately here. And OMI is not the driving factor. The driving factor is Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, same thing. We had this massive sell-off and now we're oversold. And now we're hit, like we lost support. Technically we lost support and now we're hitting our head coming from below to that support. And we are hitting our head. And even if we break that and we pump up here, we could run into a massive bull trap and just run into the next. So this is obviously another support resistance line. Hit our head here, bam, and crack down again and form a lower high. So this is no time frame to decide this, right? So this is only TA, and I'm not the biggest TA guy, but both charts, like Bitcoin is saying leading the way, OMI is kind of following, and then the whales also have a say in that whole thing. The other point is, let's assess the global situation. We have rate hikes, so right now, like everyone who in the US has a big debt on real estate or stuff like that gets hammered. Like the economy doesn't like it, but on the other hand, we have rampant inflation. We have cracked supply chain ripple effects that will last a long time. We have China going crazy on the plague and locking up like Shenzhen, which is one of the most important port cities. So that means that a whole Western like car manufacturer, technological industry doesn't get microchips, prices increase, yada yada yada. You know the drill. So if you calculate all this together, put in the war, I've not even talked about the war in that sense, and that maybe some countries will be cut off from gas, but they don't have it, and they try to do a maneuver into sustainable energy and stuff like that. So considering all of this and this TA, I would say more likely than not, we are going to drop further. And since Bitcoin exists, we didn't have a recession. So in my opinion is that, if we are going into a bear market, and I mean, technically, we must say, since we lost this support line on Bitcoin that I've shown you here, since we lost this support line, we would technically say, we should technically assume that we are in a bear market already. We just don't realize it yet, but it seems like it. Also, if you consider, it's not only a bear market like for OMI or not only for Bitcoin. Like companies in stock market and so on, they move their money to less risky assets, which is the playbook behavior of Wall Street. So this is only my opinion, and time will tell if it's correct. But I wouldn't. I'm not going full into into buying right now, because I'm less than certain that this is the bottom. I would say like 10% chance this was the bottom, or maybe like we could be fizzling out here and then drop lower. I don't know. Is it wise to sell Elsa for Secret Rare Spider-Man 2099 Marvel Mighty in order to complete a set? So only you can decide that, because it also depends on how much you want MCP points and stuff like that. But in general, in my opinion, Elsa is an absolute grail. I don't know how much Elsas you have, but if you ask my opinion, which is not a financial advice, I would go Elsa over this 2099 Spider-Man all day. Even because this is a bubblehead and this is like the first Disney Princess Golden Moments collectible, also pretty scarce, whatever. Like, it's not the first Golden Moments, but it's the first like true full plain Disney one. It will go to 0.001, I think. I will wait to buy more then. Yeah, we have been super close to that. And if we look at that, we have this wick here. We took out the stop sells. Yeah, we could go lower than that. We could even see 3 zeros, and people will be very disappointed and scared. I don't say it has to happen, but it can happen. Duncan says you win, probably with what did I win with? It's also in Cornwall or what? So yeah, I double checked, reset. They do NFT giveaways to encourage staking on extent. Oh, okay. So they want to encourage that. Okay, that's interesting. I might have missed that. I'm going to have to listen to that two to three times anyways. Can range, yeah. I mean, right now, so just from a true observatory perspective, we are, and we cannot even see that. Give me a second. So since the 19th of January, we're officially in a downtrend. Lower high, 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 lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So this until, if I draw a line down here, like if I draw this line, nothing, this hasn't been broken. Nothing indicates that it's going up, or that we have a trend reversal for OMI. Nothing. I mean, if we could go up here, and this is actually in perfect confluence with this resistance line here, we could hit our head on this and go lower. One option. It's just one of many ways to look at this downtrend, but this is a downtrend. So yeah. Cash out, they have said it many times. They said we are on track for Q2 for cash out, and basically they said it before. We need Webapp, KYC, then cash out. If we see the Webapp, I'd say we're halfway there. Then we're halfway there. And as we know, Veve, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but end of Q2 is the 30th of June. That's where until then if they stick to the promise, we should have cash out at least in reach, like doing KYC and stuff. If we have the Webapp and we're doing KYC, everything points towards cash out. I think people will stop worrying about it. Then the people who want to exit and leave the project, they will leave at this point, or they will cash out at this point. Maybe we'll see a dump in the prices again, but I think most of the people that are anticipating cash out, they've already sold. And then they can get out, and then we can proceed to the next stage. But I see you guys are exhausted as well right now after this one. I think overall it was quite a good AMA. I will stick to my DCA plan here, accumulate more OMI and chillin'. Let me know if you want to do more, like also more. I could do some like collect some news from the NFT, metaverse, whatever spaces about OMI, like do once in a while some live streams in that sense, that we'll go over the news, the questions, what's new. I think in the end it's even more favorable for everyone if we do it via live stream, and then there will be obviously the videos that are already put out. It looks like Bitcoin is going to close below the 21 simple moving average indicator on the monthly time frame. When this happens, it will confirm bear market. Yeah, so I mean, we have to see the monthly close is still more than half the month away. But I agree with you, more likely than not we will have this bear market confirmation, and if we don't have it this month, maybe we will have it next month. And as far as I see it, most of us don't have enough OMI. So actually everything we can wish for is having another bear market while nothing is happening anyways with the tokenomics, accumulate as hell, but not overextending. Yeah, and cash out, no open on bear market. Why? I mean, the cash out, in my opinion, the cash out would not influence the price in it's like in a reversal way, only within the app. But I'm talking about the OMI token. Since the OMI token has few utilities right now that are actually executed on, the only utility that they've executed on right now is that OMI is a currency on IMX and maybe Token Trove. Besides that, OMI has no utility because there's no connection anymore, no promised connection anymore between the reserve wallet and yes, all the burn mechanics that we know, Epicorigal, Fishes, the third game, and now Ascendic staking, they are coming. Ascendic staking will be enabled next week, then we'll have more utility. When Epicorigal is executing on the burn and the first OMI token is coming from Epicorigal to the burn wallet, then we'll have that utility. Until then, it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap action item, not more. Because they didn't burn any OMI yet. And so is Fishes. Fishes, for being like a freelance project, it will be able to act fast and to be able to burn some OMI. But if we are honest, even if they burn million OMI on Fishes, I'm super happy with that. Because this is an unexpected and, let's say, a project that we were not factoring in, and every OMI that is burned is a good OMI for us. But it's also not that big deal that is going to pump OMI in an Axie Infinity style. But anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this way of listening into the AMA. Give me your feedback, give me your thoughts, what you want to hear, see, and so on. I wish you all a great Friday evening, morning, evening, night, day, afternoon. Enjoy, accumulate, but even if we are coming back for a couple of weeks, keep money on the sidelines, because you never know when you will need it to buy to lower your average more. Like, keep DCAing little parts while you're moving sideways or so, but keep some money on the sidelines or put some orders. Not financial advice, only what I would do to be able to profit, to capitalize on more dump. Yo, thank you, Oliver Park. That means a lot to me, actually. Yeah. So we had 50 people listening into this AMA today. I hope this gets more and more. So, JTamp, thank you. Good night. Good evening, everyone, and see you in the next video.